morning YouTube, Derek Shoehorn here for Life Advice. I would like to thank the Communist Party of China for sponsoring this video and for letting me say whatever I want. That's really great. So with all that being said, let's get right into today's questions. Coach, I was playing Soccer Manager on my PC the other day, and in one match there was some kind of glitch and all of the players turned invisible. That night I wet the bed. Do you think the two are related? And that is from Duncan Ferguson in Dundee. Well, Duncan, reading between the lines of your email, I'm pretty sure you were probably drinking that night. Okay, it's not often that a grown man wets the bed without alcohol being involved in some way. The only time I've ever wet the bed was after a night on the Scotch. Also, strangely, I actually dreamt that night about Soccer Manager, believe it or not. In my dream, none of the players turned invisible. I think maybe that wasn't a glitch with the computer, that might have been the drinking. It is strange that the Soccer Manager video game was involved in both of our drinking and wetting the bed stories, but I can't account for that. All I would say, Duncan, is try to knock the Soccer Manager on the head. I think the drinking alone would be fine, but combined with the Soccer Manager, it sounds like maybe it's giving you a problem. So just quit Soccer Manager and see how you go from there. And if the drinking becomes a problem, then there's probably better people than me to contact about that, okay? Derek, I'm a huge fan and so glad to correspond with you before you become famous and inaccessible. I live in New York and I'm trying to get my 13-month-old son into weight training. Do you know any child-friendly gyms in the Big Apple? And that is from Fox, New York. Well, Fox, that's a great question. I know New York very well. The first time I went there was for a love affair. I followed a woman there who I've been seeing virtually for 6 months already at that point. She went to New York, I followed. We had a whirlwind romance. It ended badly, but I didn't mind that because the next time I went back to New York was to run a men's group. A seminar I was running at the time and 10 people turned up, so thank you so much to those guys. I was so grateful because now all of my associations with New York are so much more positive than they would have been had it just been based on that whirlwind romance. Although I do have some good memories about that, they're mostly drowned in the terrible memories from the end of that time. And as far as weight training for your son goes, I think 13 months, you have left it a little bit late. I'm sure you're aware of that. You left it a little bit late, but maybe he can catch up on the last 6 months if he really goes in hard to begin with. But as far as gyms in the Big Apple goes, I don't know any gyms because the times when I was there was for the whirlwind romance, and I didn't go near a gym during that time. I was mainly just sort of drinking, smoking Marlboro Reds. And the second time when I went back for the seminar for the men's group, we didn't go to the gym then either because we were mainly just crying and, you know, holding each other's shoulders and stuff like that. So that's why I don't know any gyms, but I'm sure there's some out there. I'm sure you can just find one if you look in the local yellow pages. Derek, I used to like drinking in pubs. Now that those days are over, what do you recommend doing instead? And that is from Paul Gascoigne in Newcastle. Well, Paul, you're absolutely right. Those days are over. Okay, and I think the sooner that we all get that into our heads, the better. The days of drinking in a pub are gone. I don't even know if there's anything more to say about that. Yes, you'll probably be able to go to a pub if you want to eat a meal. But if you want to go and sit at a bar, have a drink, you know, tell the guy next to you all about your problems, those days are over. So what we need is a revolution in how we think about pubs, okay? So a lot of people think that pubs were places where you would go to drink alcohol. That is one thing that you could do in a pub in the past. That is true. And like I say, the days when you could sit down at the end of the bar and halfway down your second drink start telling the guy next to you about the problem you've been having with your genitals that week, start talking to him about your romantic life, those days are over. But we are in luck because what we do have now, we do have this channel. And what I want you to do is consider me to be that guy who you've never met before, who's sitting at the end of the bar and who you want to tell all about your problems. Because that's what I'm here for, okay? So when you send me in your email with your question about pubs, that's exactly the conversation you would have been having with the guy at the end of the bar. If pubs were open now, we'd all be talking about how pubs are never coming back. Okay, and that is what we're talking about on this channel, which proves that this is the new pub. You don't need alcohol, all you need is a little advice. Keep your questions coming in, keep growing, no cheat days. I'll see you in the next video.